it is time to film the video that everyone has been requesting so that people will stop asking me where they should live because I don't know. Okay. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Anna and I am a junior at WVU, but right now this is not WVU, this is England. I'm actually in England studying abroad, and you should definitely go check out my past videos because I've done a bunch of vlogs of me traveling and going crazy and being drunk and also losing my phone. It's been a great time, as you can tell. Today I am filming a highly requested video. This is probably my most requested video ever. In my little video notebook, I have about 5 pages of notes on all the dorms. So for each dorm, I am going to talk about the closest to campus, if it's a good party dorm, the closest to parties, the cleanliness / newness, if it's good for making friends, if it's close to any dining halls, if there's any stereotypes or nicknames for the dorm, and if it's good for football games. Also, make sure you stay tuned till the end of this video because I have a handy dandy chart that shows you a ton more information on each dorm, like is it carpeted, does it have AC, does it have a dining hall, does it have a workout place, all these different things. So let's get right into it because this video is going to be freaking really long. I can already tell. There's a lot of dorms at WVU and there's a lot to say about them. So I'm going to start off by talking about towers. Now there are 4 towers. Let's see if I can name them all. Brooke, Bennett, Braxton, and Lion. I got them all. Okay, those are all the towers. I'm gonna group them all together because they're all basically the same damn thing. Yeah. Towers is super big. It's like its own little city. There's really no stereotypes, I don't think. I know a lot of people smoke there, but like people smoke everywhere, so I don't really know. I'm gonna put up a little picture of the location on the map. It's on Evansville campus, and you can PRT or bus to the main campus. There's a bus that drops off and picks up right outside of Towers, and also the PRT is like a 5-10 minute walk. Towers is good for sports science majors, engineering, and arts majors because a lot of those majors, buildings, and classes are on the Evansville campus already, and it's also very close to the gym. So if that's a priority for you, the gym is about a 5 to 10 minute walk. It's also right next to Evansville Crossing, which has the bookstore and a bunch of restaurants and a Starbucks and stuff like that. This place is great for football games because it's very close to the stadium. My freshman year, when I had friends that lived in Towers, we would all go over there before a game, and that way we could like drop all of our stuff off there and pregame there, and it was so convenient to have somebody living there. So if that's a priority for you, definitely live in Towers. It is not close to any parties. You have to take the bus or Uber. There's really no parties on Evansville, I would argue. So if partying is a big priority for you and you don't want to worry about taking the bus or taking an Uber, then I would not recommend living at Towers. It's also not super clean and new, but it's decent. I mean, I would say it's like a typical dorm cleanliness. It just looks like an average dorm. They do have AC, which is really nice, and they do have communal bathrooms, but there are no sinks in the rooms, and it's shaped like kind of a square, so it's not just one long hallway all the way across. It's great for making friends because there are a ton of people in Towers. There's like hundreds and hundreds. It's okay for pre-gaming. The RAs I think are medium strict. I'm not exactly sure. My friends that lived in Towers, I don't think the RAs really cared, but again, it can vary. Also, I want to put out a disclaimer. I'm speaking for these dorms based on my knowledge, but I obviously have not lived in every dorm. I've only lived in Dadisman. So all this information is based off of my friends that have lived there and what I've heard. Please don't come for me if some of this isn't true. I'm just doing it based off of whatever's in the noodle right here. The one really nice thing is that it does have its own dining hall. I forget which tower it's in, but it's in the Towers complex. It is the best dining hall in my opinion. They have Krispy Kreme like every maybe Saturday or maybe every morning, I don't know. But it's a really good dining hall, so I would definitely recommend it for that. It also has a snack place that opens at like 7 p.m. It's really nice if you want like a late night snack. You can actually use your dining dollars, which is really nice, and they have like chicken tenders and smoothies and like everything you can imagine. I was always really jealous of that. It's called the Lion's Den, in case you're wondering. So the next place I'm going to be talking about is Boreman, north and south. So here is a little picture of Boreman on the map. I just want to point out really quickly that Boreman North is girls only. I don't know if they tell you that when you're signing up for dorms, and then South is both genders. There's not really a nickname for Boreman, but from all my friends that have lived there, they have loved it, so I would recommend it for that reason. I've heard it's great. I've been in Boreman and I really liked it when I was like visiting. The rooms have more privacy because the rooms are split up, kind of like, okay, so here's a room. There's like a wall right here, so there are 2 beds, but there's like a separator, so you kind of have your own room. It's really small, but it is a little bit bigger than, say, like the Dadisman dorms are. It's super close to the main campus and the Lair. It's like right across from the Lair, and the PRT to Evansdale is not too far away as well. So if you're looking for closest to campus, this one is super close. And I would say this is good for business, science, and psych majors, just basically all the majors where the main classes are on the main campus. I also want to point out that as a freshman, you're going to have a lot of classes on main campus anyways, just because you're taking all of your prereqs. So don't worry too much about that, but if you do want to live somewhere based on your major, I would say the ones that are downtown, so those majors. It's also right next to all of the frats. It's on frat row at the very bottom, and it is the closest dorm to downtown. So if you're looking for a place that's super close to downtown, this is a place to live. It's a little bit farther from Sunnyside, maybe a 15-minute walk, but it's not horrible. And it's not new. It's a pretty shitty dorm, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a fun dorm. And like I said, all the people that I know that have lived there have said that they loved it. So it is tower style, which means that there are no hallways. So it's kind of hard to describe. Basically, there's like these tower type of deals, and you walk up a stairwell, and then you get to like the first room, and then you walk up the second one, you get to the second couple rooms, you walk up the third, you get to the third couple rooms. It's really hard to describe. It's like a maze in there. Maybe I was just like intoxicated when I was in there, but it's kind of confusing. But it's not a hallway style, so it is harder to meet people. You can't just walk down a hallway and like look in people's rooms and be like, hey, let's be friends. It doesn't work like that. But there are multiple people on each floor, I believe. It's just really kind of confusing how that works. It has AC, which is really nice. Memory card ran out of memory. Give me a hot second to get back to where I was. So also, you share a bathroom with less people. It's not communal bathrooms necessarily. I think you share it with like 3 other people or something. I would say this one is okay for making friends. There's no hallway, but it is a party dorm, so you will meet a lot of people through that. And the RAs are definitely stricter. There's security outside, so it's harder to sneak people in at night because you have to check people into dorms like after a certain time. So it's harder to do that. It's also harder to sneak alcohol out because there's guards out there, so if they catch you, they'll tell you to dump it out. It has its own dining hall, which is pretty decent, so that's a plus. And it's right next to the Lair, which has a bunch of food, as we all know. And it's not super good for football games just because it is on the downtown campus. It's not anywhere near the football stadium. Okay, so the next one is Dadisman, aka Dirty D. This, if you didn't know, is where I lived. Best dorm ever, kind of. Let's get started. Yes, it is called the Dirty D. That's its nickname. This is the biggest party dorm, I would argue. Here it is on a map. It's right next to Stalnaker and right on frat row across from Theta Chi. If you want to be a frat rat, this is the place to stay. It's pretty close to the PRT and it's super close to campus, like literally a 3-minute walk. It's good for business majors because it's like right across from the B&E building, and it's also good for psych or nothing that's too difficult because you will be partying and you probably will be distracted. But if you put your mind to it, you can get good grades. I had a 3.8 my first semester or my first year when I was there. So if you just make yourself, you know, stay focused, then you'll be totally fine. It's also close to the small Stalnaker gym in case you want a gym, and it is the best dorm for frat parties. Like I said, it's right across from Theta Chi. It's close to downtown, but there is a huge hill. Like you'll get used to it, but I'm telling you, there were times when I went to CVS at the bottom of the hill and Ubered up. Okay, Ubered up. That's like a 30-second drive, but I couldn't, the hill's like huge. It's pretty close to Sunnyside, maybe a 10-minute walk, so not horrible. And it is definitely the shittiest dorm, so it's not very clean as far as I know, unless they've renovated it. But when I was there, you'll find like pieces of pizza in the stairwell. Also, there is no AC. I don't know if this is the only building that doesn't have AC. I believe it's the only one. But yes, it doesn't have AC. If it's 90 degrees in August when you get there, kind of sucks. But again, it's worth it. But if you need AC, then you probably shouldn't live here, to be honest. It has communal bathrooms. So that's something else, but it's not horrible. I've never really had to wait for like the shower or anything, but it does get kind of gross. However, there are sinks in most of the rooms, so in your room you will get your own sinks. You don't have to like walk all the way to the bathroom to wash your hands or like wash your face or something like that. I know that some rooms have bigger closets and no sinks, so I don't know. I remember I took like forever trying to figure out if my room had a sink or a big closet. There's like no way to tell. You're just gonna have to be surprised probably, but just keep in mind that that is a thing. And it's hallway style. It is literally just straight hallways all across. The whole building is literally just one big hallway with like 6 floors, and it's really easy to meet people because of that. Also, a little disclaimer, when it says that you're on floor 3 or floor 6, the floors are really confusing because basically, okay, so here's Dadisman. It's on a hill. So these 3 floors are like 1, 2, 3, but then over here is like a hill. So it doesn't continue all the way across to the end of the dorm. And then these are 4, 5, 6. But when you walk to the dorm, you're already at level 4, 5, 6. It's really confusing, but if you have questions about that and you're living in Dadisman, just let me know and I can try to explain it better. It's great for making friends, like I said, because it's hallway style. There are a ton of people. Everybody's friendly. Everybody loves to party. It is the best party dorm. The RAs are the least strict out of all of the dorms, in my opinion, and it is pretty easy to sneak people in. I've snuck many people in. Basically, you just have to have somebody go to one of the side doors, open it, the alarm goes off, you guys come in the door, and then you run for your lives, and hopefully an RA doesn't catch you, which they usually don't. There is no dining hall, but it is close to Stalnaker, which, yes, it's called Stalnaker. It's the Stalnaker dining hall, but it is the worst dining hall, unfortunately. It is not great for football games. Again, any dorm downtown is not great for football games. I'm just gonna keep saying that, but yeah. So overall with Dadisman, I would recommend it because it is the cheapest dorm and it is so much fun. So, you know, if you're really looking for a authentic experience for WVU, I'd recommend the Dirty D. Okay, so next up is Honors Hall. This one I can't say too much about, but basically the stereotype is that it's kind of like for the goody two-shoes. It's kind of quiet. It is for honor students, although I'm not knocking honor students. I am an honor student myself, but I chose not to live there. So it's quieter, but it is also a very nice dorm. So if you're looking for a nice dorm downtown, this is the one you want to go to. And here is where it is located. It's good for science majors because it's right next to the LSB, or just for majors that are tougher that you kind of want a quieter environment for. And it is very close to campus, like I said. It's right next to Sunnyside, so that's really good if you're looking for more house parties or if you have older student friends that live in Sunnyside. It's close to downtown, maybe like a 5-10 minute walk, and it's farthest from Frat Row, but it's maybe like a 15-minute walk, so it's still not too bad. It's super clean and new. I've heard that it feels like a hotel, so if that's the kind of vibe you're looking for, then there you go. It has AC. I think it's hallway style, and I'm not sure about the bathrooms, but I don't think that they're communal. I feel like maybe you share them with just a couple people. They're okay for making friends. Most people prefer to stay in. You don't get a lot of people that go out or party in that dorm, and it's super quiet. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for people that don't party all the time and you want to make friends with those kind of people, then this is probably a good place for you. But if you're looking to, like, you know, do it the Dirty D way, then you probably don't want to live here or try to make friends here. It's not a very good party dorm. There are no pre-games, and the RAs are super strict because it is an honors dorm. And it's right next to the Summit Dining Hall, so it's a pretty decent dining hall if you're looking for that, but it doesn't have one of its own. It's not amazing for football games. It's kind of the same as all the other downtown dorms. Okay, next up is Lincoln Hall. So for me, this is honors, but make it Evansdale. So basically anything that I said for honors basically stands for this, except that it's on the Evansdale campus. This is the second nicest dorm. It feels like a hotel as well. It is right here on the map. I will show you. It's very close to Evansdale. It's actually right next to Towers, like right next to Towers, and it's just a PRT or bus to campus. It's very good for serious majors, like I said, because it's a quieter dorm. It's also very good for engineering because usually engineering is a very hard major, and all of the engineering classes are usually on Evansdale. It's not close at all to parties, same as Towers. You're gonna have to PRT or bus or Uber to the parties, and it is very new and clean. I don't really know how it is for making friends. Again, like, I've never stayed there. I don't really have any friends that lived in Lincoln, so I can't say much about that. but it's definitely not a party dorm. Again, I don't know how strict the RAs are or anything. I can't really speak on that. The closest dining hall is Towers, which, like I said, is the best dining hall. And it's great for football games because, again, it's right next to Towers, so it's very close to the stadium. Okay, next one is Oakland. Now, this is known as the athletes dorm. So although you can live there if you're not an athlete, basically all of the freshman football players and all of the freshman athletes live here. It's by far the nicest actual dorm. Here is the location for you. It's very good for athletes if you want to meet other athletes and just kind of be in that environment. And it's good if you like IHOP, McDonald's, or Smoothie King because it's right next to all of those things. It's not very close to parties, so again, you're gonna have to use the bus or the Uber. It's very clean and new. It has AC. Again, one of the nicest dorms. Feels like a hotel. I would say it's good for making friends. I know a lot of people like have made friends, and it's a pretty social dorm, I think. And it's not particularly a party dorm, but you can find parties, I believe. The closest dining hall is going to be Towers or Crossing. It's also very close to the gym, so if you're an athlete and you want to be going to the gym a lot, it's like a 10-15 minute walk from the gym. This is the best dorm for football games, so if that is something that is huge on your priority list, this is the closest to the stadium. It's maybe a 5 to 10 minute walk. It's super close, so highly recommend for that. Okay, so the next place is Seneca. People ask me all the time about Seneca. This is actually a relatively new dorm, and it's basically kind of some apartment style dorms. So you will be sharing with 3 other roommates. You get an apartment. It's 4 people to an apartment. It is definitely the most expensive place to live, so if you got that coin, you don't really care, then sure, live here, but if you're kind of on a budget, I would not recommend. Here is where it is on the map, and one really sad thing about this particular accommodation is that the one really good thing about it was that it was right under a sheet, so if you ever want a late night snack or anything like that, you just go downstairs. Unfortunately, if you are banking on staying at Seneca for the sheets, don't, because the sheets just closed like literally a couple days ago. Apparently WVU upped the rent and now the sheets is closing down, which is tragic for everyone in Sunnyside because this was the place to go if you wanted food at night. I lived at U Club last year, which is right down the street from Seneca, and I absolutely loved Sheets being right there, but it's not anymore. So yeah, that really brings Seneca down on the ranking list, have to say. It's pretty close to campus, but it's the furthest from campus downtown. It is kind of up a hill, so it only takes maybe like 7 minutes to get to campus, but it's still a good walk. I mean, you might be out of breath, you know. It's also the farthest from all the other dorms. The closest dorm to it is Summit, but in comparison, it's the farthest away from campus, but still really not bad. It's very close to Sunnyside. It's like literally in Sunnyside, so again, if you have friends that live there or you want to go to house parties, then that's a good location. And it's about the equal distance from the downtown and Frex. It's maybe like a 10-15 minute walk. It's pretty clean and new. Again, they only opened this up like maybe 3 years ago for students. And one thing I want to note is that it's a lot smaller than you think. So you're thinking like, oh, I got this big apartment, I can have all these parties, it's gonna be so spacious. Well, not really. It's actually very cramped for an apartment. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like if you have 4 people, if you have more than 4 people in there at a time, like you're trying to throw a party or something, it's pretty cramped. So just keep that in mind. It's not as luxurious and big as you might think it would be. And I would say it's for making friends. Again, you have the 3 roommates with you, but it's not super social because it is apartment style. So if you don't like your roommates, then you might have a little bit of trouble making other friends in this dorm. It's not a great party dorm, again, because it's small, so don't think that just because you have an apartment you can throw these huge parties. Also, the RAs can be stricter than you think. When I was there, we were having kind of like a little get-together party thing, and we definitely got busted, and I hear that people get busted a lot because they walk through the hallways, so keep that in mind as well. The closest dining hall is Summit, which is maybe like a 2-minute walk, and like I said, there was a Sheets, but it's not there anymore, so that really kind of sucks. It's kind of for football games. It's the closest dorm to the football stadium, but it's still like a good 20-minute walk, but you can walk it if you wanted to, if you're brave enough. Okay, so next up is Stalnaker Hall. So this one is right here on the map. I will show you. It's right next to Dadisman. It's basically a clone of Dadisman, and it's right next to the Lair. It's the closest dorm to the Lair, so if that's a priority for you, then there you go. It is on Frat Row, which is really nice, and it's super close to downtown. It's okay cleanliness. It's not the best, but I would say it's like an average dorm cleanliness. It does have AC, which is nice. Also has rats, or at least that's what it had when I was a freshman, so keep that in mind. Just a rumor I heard, but you know, it's hallway style as far as I know, but I hear it is quieter than the Dirty D. So Dadisman and Stalnaker are basically like the same layout, but Dadisman is a lot more friendly. It's pretty good for making friends, but not as friendly as Dadisman, like I said. and it's an okay party dorm. I don't really know what the RA situation or what the party situation is. It has Stalnaker or Stalnaker, the shitty dining hall. So it does have a dining hall, which is nice. You can just go right downstairs and get your food. Although it's kind of gross, they always just serve like leftovers on Saturdays. Like if you try to go there and get some food on a Saturday, it's just gonna be what they had Friday night, which is like kind of nasty in my opinion, but whatever. It also has a very small gym, just like with a couple treadmills and ellipticals. And again, it's the same as all the other downtown dorms for football games. Not very close, but pretty much the same distance as all the other dorms. And lastly, we have Summit Hall, or Scummit. So here it is on the map. It is close to Sunnyside. It's actually like right in Sunnyside. So again, if you've got friends there, this is perfect for you. It's pretty close to campus. It's right next to the LSB, which is a life sciences building. So if you're a science major, then this is good for you. And for parties, like I said, it's in Sunnyside. It's pretty close to downtown, and it's pretty close to Frat Row. It's actually right next to Honors Hall. So it's the same distance from everything as Honors is. It's okay cleanliness. I've not actually ever been in the dorms, I don't think, but it's not the worst. It does have AC, and I've heard pretty good things about it. It is, I think, the biggest dorm downtown. So if you're looking for a really big dorm with lots of people, then this is the place to go. It's very good for making friends, as far as I've heard. It's hallway style. It's basically just like a big rectangle cube type of situation, and it's a pretty good party dorm. The RAs are medium strict as far as I know, and there's lots of pre-games. It is like a relatively big party dorm. Lots of people go out and stuff. It has its own dining hall, which, like I said, is nicknamed Scummit. It's actually not that bad. They have a really nice grab and go section, so if you don't want to like sit down and eat, they have a bunch of food you can just grab. Again, it's just for football games. It's the same as all the other dorms. It's downtown. If you're looking to be very close to the stadium, this is not the place for you. I think that's it. I think I covered all of them. I hope that this gave you guys a little bit more insight into what each dorm has, because I've been getting so many questions about where people should live. So now, if you ask me where you should live, I'm gonna tell you to just come watch this video, and also subscribe if you want more information on all things WVU. I'm here, I'm doing it 24/7, so please subscribe. It really helps me out. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions specifically for any dorm, feel free to comment or DM me on Instagram, and I'll try to answer all of you guys. And if you have any more requests for videos, please do not hesitate to let me know, and I will film that for you guys for sure. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.